But first, this week, the royal family marked Holocaust Memorial Day. Prince Charles paid tribute by saying that we can be the light that ensures the darkness can never return, while his daughter-in-law Kate spoke to some survivors of the atrocities of the Second World War. Let's have a look at the video of that conversation.
I think it was 2017 we met each other for the first time, wasn't it? It's lovely to see you again.
You may remember Ziggy and I met in 1944 in the camps. And then by chance we met again later on, and we are friends to this day. My younger brother was murdered in the camps. And so instead of having 4 of us in the family, there were just 3.
And how old was he, Manfred?
He was 7 years old when he was taken into the camp, and 9 years old when he was taken away to be murdered.
You know, every morning they used to take out the dead bodies. So eventually I had where to sit down. And, you know, and I can get rid of it, you know. Up till today, even, how could I think a thing like that to see somebody dying? So I had where to sit down. That's what they made me do.
That was all very moving, Rebecca. What else can you tell us about this call?
Yes, the Duchess of Cambridge spoke to 2 really remarkable men this week. Ziggy Schipper, who's 91, and Manfred Goldberg, who is 90. And incredibly, their friendship was formed in a Nazi concentration camp in 1944. And they've remained friends to this day. I mean, it is so moving. And the Duchess met them in 2017, but she got, thanks to the Holocaust Educational Trust, got the chance to speak to them again to learn more about their experiences in the concentration camps, which, you know, despite 70 odd years having passed, are no less powerful. And also to try and talk to them about, you know, the message they want to get across to the younger generation, which is, please don't forget what happened to people like us. Learn from that experience and try to ensure that genocide on that scale never happens again. I mean, Manfred had a really powerful message, which was that evil will only triumph if good voices remain silent. And that's really what they wanted to get across through the call on Holocaust Memorial Day.
As you say, it will never not be powerful, that. Victoria, this is an area that Kate's focused on before, isn't it?
Certainly, I mean, it's something that all the royal family are continually focused on. It's really important to them to mark Holocaust Memorial Day, and they do so every year. Last year, Kate did something which was a little bit original. She actually took her own photographs of Holocaust survivors. We know that she's a very keen photographer, and that really resonated with a lot of people. But this year, no less powerful, what she was doing, kind of bringing back that message. And as Rebecca said, she actually met Ziggy and Manfred for the first time at Stutthof concentration camp in 2017. And I actually remember going there with William and Kate on that visit, and you know, so moving, and speaking to Ziggy and Manfred afterwards. And one of the things that really came across was that they had actually been unsure about whether or not to go back to the camp. It was the first time that they had been back there since they were prisoners. But they said that they decided to come for the royal visit. And what, you know, they were saying can happen is that they really want to tell their story in order to remind people about what happened, so that people don't forget and it doesn't happen again. And actually the profile that the royal family has can really help them to do that.
Richard, did you find Kate quite impressive here?
Yes, I thought Kate was a very good interviewer, and wisely she left all the focus to be on the 2 men and their very powerful stories. I watched it last night and I was moved to tears by the end of just the first account, because you know, you read about these things, but when you actually have a survivor saying in their own words what happened, it's horrendous. The first thing I did after switching it off was say to my daughters, come on, you should watch this too, because you know, we've got to appreciate these people while they're still with us. They're, you know, very old men and still have that power to move us. And I thought Kate did it well. She left them to do the talking, and it was all the more powerful for that.
Rebecca, Prince Charles also played his role. How would a visit and a royal duty like this normally be split up between the family?
Yeah, well, although obviously most of the focus was on the Duchess of Cambridge because, of course, of the nature of the fact that she was speaking to 2 Holocaust survivors, actually events were led by the Prince of Wales. He's actually patron of the Holocaust Memorial Day Trust. So he was the kind of statesman-like aspect of it. He recorded a really poignant video message in which he talked about us being the light in the darkness and continuing to highlight the lessons of the past, and also took part in a virtual candle lighting ceremony with his wife, the Duchess of Cornwall. So, as I say, although, you know, people such as me, journalists such as me, focused on the stories of Kate with Manfred and Ziggy because it was just so incredibly moving. Events were led by the Prince of Wales, and it's something he has worked long and hard on over many, many decades, trying to bring people together in acts of reconciliation, but also to enable us to learn from the lessons of the past.